Judges. So I don't even know where I stopped at Judges again, but I will look for it. So we are currently on Judges. So let's see if what we can do today. Before we start, let's say our Lord's Prayer. Heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So let's look for where I stopped to. Finally, I stopped at Judges chapter 10. So let's continue from there. Judges, okay. Judges chapter 10. After Abimelech's death, Tola, the son of Puah and grandson of Do, came to free Israel. He was from the tribe of Issachar and lived at Shamir in the hill country of Ephraim. He was Israel's leader for 23 years. Then he died and was buried at Shammah. After Tola came from Gilead. He led Israel for 22 years. He had 30 sons who rode 30 donkeys. They had 30 cities in the land of Gilead, which was still called the village of Jah. Jah died and was buried at Carmel. Japhtha. Once again, the Israelites sinned against the Lord by worshipping the Baals and Astartes, as well as the gods of the Asherah, of Sidon, of Moab, of Ammon, and of Philistia. They abandoned the Lord and stopped him. So the Lord became angry with the Israelites and let the Philistines and the Amorites conquer them. For 18 years they oppressed and persecuted all the Israelites who live in Amorite country east of the river Jordan in Gilead. The Amorites even crossed the Jordan to fight the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Ephraim. Israel was in great distress. Then the Israelites cried out to the Lord and said, "We have sinned against you, for we have left you, our God, and worshipped the Baals." The Lord gave them this answer: the Egyptians, the Amorites, the Ammonites, the Philistines, the Sidonites, the Amalekites, the Maonites oppressed you in the past. You cried out to me. Did I not save you from them? But you still left me and worship other gods. So I am not going to rescue you again. Go and cry out to the gods you have chosen. Let them rescue you when you get into trouble. But the people of Israel said to the Lord, "We have sinned. Do whatever you like, but please save us today." So they got rid of their foreign gods and worshipped the Lord, and he became troubled over Israel's distress. Then the Amorite army prepared for battle and made camp in Gilead. The men of Israel came together and camped at Mizpah in Gilead. There the people and the leaders of the Israelite tribe asked one another, "Who will lead the fight against the Ammonites? Whoever does will be the leader of everyone in Gilead." Chapter 11. Japhtha, a brave soldier from Gilead, was the son of a prostitute. His father, his father Gilead has other sons by his wife, and when they grew up, they forced Japhet to leave home. They said to him, "You will not inherit anything from our father. You are the son of another woman." Japhet fled from his brothers and lived in the land of Tob. There he attracted a group of worthless men, and they went round with him. It was some time later that the Amorites went to war against Israel. When this happened, the leaders of Gilead went, went to bring Japhet back from the land of Tob. They said, "Come and lead us so that we can fight the Ammonites." But Japhet answered, "You hated me so much that you forced me to leave my father's house. Why, why come to me now that you are in trouble?" They said to Japhet, "We are turning to you now because we want you to go with us and fight the Amorites and lead all the people of Gilead." Japhet said to them, "If you take me back home to fight the Ammonites and the Lord give me victory, I will be your ruler." They replied, "We agree. The Lord is our witness." So Japhet went went with the leader of Gilead, and the people made him their rulers and leader. Japhet Japhet stated his terms at Mizpah in the presence of the Lord. Then Japhet sent messengers to the king of say, "What is your quarrel with us? Why have you invaded my country?" The king of Ammon answered Japheth's messengers, "When the Israelites came out of Egypt, they took away my land from the river Arnon to the river Jabbok and the river Jordan. Now you must give it back peacefully." Japhet sent messengers back to the king of Ammon with this answer: "It is not true that Israel took it is not true that Israel took away the land of Moab or the land of Ammon. This is what happened. When the Israelites left Egypt, they went through the desert to the Gulf of Aqaba and came to Kadesh. Then they sent messengers to the king of Edom to ask permission to go through his land. But the king of Edom would not let them. They also asked the king of Moab, but neither would he let them go through his land. So the Israelites stayed at Kadesh. Then they went on through the desert, going round the land of Edom and the land of Moab, until they came to the east side of Moab. Moab. On the other side of the river Arnon, they made camp there, but they did not cross the Arnon because it was the boundary of Moab. Then the Israelites sent messengers to Sihon, the Amorites king of Heshbon, and asked him for permission to go through his country to their own land, but Sihon would not let Israel do it. He brought his whole army together, made camp at Jahaz, and attacked Israel. But the Lord, the God of Israel, gave the Israelites victory over Sihon and his army. So the Israelites took possession of all the territory of the Amorites who lived in that country. They occupied all the Amorite territory from the Arnon in the south to the Jabbok in the north, and from the desert on the east to the Jordan on the west. So it was the Lord, the God of Israel, who drove out the Amorites for his people, the Israelites. Are you going to try to take it back? You can keep whatever your god Shimons has given you, but going to keep we are going to keep anything that the Lord our God have given us. Do you think you are any better than Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab? He never challenged Israel, did he? did he ever go to war against us? For 300 years Israel has occupied Heshbon and Aram, and the towns round them, and all the city on the bank of the river Arnon. Why have not you taken them back in all this time? No, I have not done you any wrong. You are doing wrong by making war on me. The Lord is the judge. He will decide today between the Israelites and the Amorites. But the king of Ammon paid no attention to this message from Jephthah. Jeph, Jeph, Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah. He went through Gilead and Manasseh and returned to Mizpah in Gilead and went on to Ammon. Jephthah promised the Lord, if you give me victory over the Ammonites, I will burn as an offering the first person that comes out of my house. Oh, okay. I will burn as an offering the first person that comes out of my house to meet me when I come back from the victory. I will offer that person to you as a sacrifice. Hi. So Jephthah crossed the river to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave okay. So Jephthah crossed the river to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave him victory. He struck at them from Aroer to the area around Minit, 20 cities in all, and as far as Abel Karimi. There was a great slaughter, and the Amorites were defeated by Israel. Jephthah's daughter. When Jephthah went back home to Mizpah, there was his daughter coming out to meet him, dancing and playing the tambourine. She was his only child. When he saw her, he tore his clothes in sorrow and said, "Oh, my daughter, you are breaking my heart. Why must it be you that causes me pain? I have made a solemn promise to the Lord, and I cannot take it back." She said to him, "If you have made a promise to the Lord, do what you said you would do to me, since the Lord has given you revenge on your enemies, the Ammonites." But she asked her father, "Do this one thing for me. Leave me alone for 2 months so that I can go with my friends to wander in the mountains and grave that I must die. Okay. And grave that I must die a virgin." He told her to go and sent her away for 2 months. She and her friends went up into the mountain and grieved because she was going to die unmarried and childless. After 2 months, she came back to her father. He did what he had promised the Lord, and she died still a virgin. This was the origin of the custom in Israel that the young woman would go away for 4 days every year to grieve for the daughter of Jephthah of Gilead. Judges chapter 12. Jephthah and the Ephraimites. The men of Ephraim prepared for battle. They crossed the river Jordan to Zaphon and said to Jephthah, "Why did you cross the border to fight the Amorites without calling us to go with you? We will burn the house down over your head." But Jephthah said to them, "My people and I have a serious quarrel with the Amorites. I did call you, but you would not rescue me from them. When I saw that you were not going to, I risked my life and crossed the border to fight them. The Lord gave me victory over them. So why are you coming to fight me?" Then Jephthah brought out all the men of Gilead together, fought the men of Ephraim and defeated them. The Ephraimites had said, "You Gileadites in Ephraim and Manasseh, you are deserters from Ephraim." In order to keep the Ephraimites from escaping, the Gileadites captured the place where Jordan could be crossed. When any Ephraimite who was trying to escape asked permission to cross, the men of Gilead would ask, are you an Ephraimite? If he said no, they would tell him to say Shimbolet. But he would say Shimboli. Okay. But he would say Shimbolet because he could not pronounce it correctly. Then they would seize him and kill him there at one of the crossings of the Jordan. At that time, 42,000 of Ephraimites were killed. Jephthah led Israel for 6 years. Then he died and was buried in his hometown in Gilead. Ibzan, Elon, and Abdon. After Japheth, Ibzan from Bethlehem led Israel. He had 30 sons and 30 daughters. He gave his daughters in marriage outside the clan and brought 30 girls from outside the clan for his sons to marry. Ibzan led Israel for 7 years. Then he died and was buried at Bethlehem. After Ibzan, Elon from Zebulun led Israel for 10 years. Then he died and was buried at Ajalon in the territory of Zebulun. After Elon, Abdon son of Heli from Pirathon led Israel. He has 40 sons and 30 grandsons, who ruled on 70 donkeys. Abdon led Israel for 88 years. Then he died and was buried at Pirathon in the territory of Ephraim, in the hill country of Amalekites. Judges chapter 13. The birth of Samson. The Israelites sinned against the Lord again, and he let the Philistines rule them for 14 years. At that time, there was a man named Manoah from the town of Zorah. He was a member of the tribe of Dan. His wife has never been able to have children. The Lord's angel appeared to her and said, "You have never been able to have children, but you will soon be pregnant and have a son. Take care not to drink any wine or beer, or eat any forbidden food. And after your son is born, you must never cut his hair, because from the day of his birth he will be dedicated to God as a Nazarite. Right. Okay. He began the work of rescuing Israel from the Philistines. Then the woman went and said to her husband, "A man of God have come to me, and look as threatening as the angel of God. I did not ask him where he came from, and he did not tell me his, but he did tell me that I will become pregnant and have a son. He told me not to drink any wine or beer or eat any forbidden food, because the boy is to be dedicated to God as a Nazarite as long as he lives." Then Manoah prayed to God, "Please, Lord, let the man of God that you sent come back to us and tell us what we must do with the boy when he is born." God did what Manoah asked, and his angel came back to the woman while he was sitting in the field. Her husband at once, okay, while she was sitting, her husband Moab was not with her. So she ran at once and said to him, "Look, the man who came to me the other day has appeared to me again." Manoah got up and followed his wife. He went to the man and asked, "Are you the man who was talking to my wife?" "Yes," he answered. Then Manoah asked, "When your word comes true, what must the boy do? What kind of a life must he lead?" The Lord's angel answered, "Your wife must be sure to do everything that I have told her. She must not eat anything that comes from the grape vine. She must not drink any wine or beer or eat any forbidden food. She must do everything that I have told her." Manoah did not know that it was the Lord's angel, so he asked And he said to him, "Please do not go yet. Let us cook a young goat for you." But the angel said, "If I do stay, I will not eat your food. But if you want to prepare it, burn it as an offering to the Lord." Manoah replied, "Tell us your name, so that we can honor you when your words come true." The angel asked, "Why do you want to know my name? It is a name of wonder." So Manoah took a young goat and some grain and offered them on the rock altar to the Lord who works wonder. While the flames were going up from the altar, Manoah and his wife saw the Lord's angel go up towards heaven in the flames. Manoah realized then that the man had been the Lord's angel, and he and his wife threw themselves face downward on the ground. They never saw the angel again. Manoah said to his wife, "We are sure to die because we have seen God." But his wife answered, "If the Lord had wanted to kill us, he would not have accepted our offerings. He would not have shown us all this or told us such things now." The woman gave birth to a son and named him Samson. The child grew, and the Lord blessed him, and the Lord's power began to strengthen him while he was between Zorah and Epstein in camp of Dan. Judges chapter 14. Samson and the girl from Timnah. One day Samson went down to Timnah, where he noticed a certain Philistine girl. He went back home and said to his father and mother, "There is a Philistine girl down at Timnah who have catch my attention. Get her for me. I want to marry her." But his father and mother asked him, "Why do you want to go to those hating Philistines to get a wife? Can't you find her in our own claim among all our people?" But Samson said to his father, "She is the one I want you to get for me. I like her." His parents did not know that it was the Lord who was leading Samson to do this, for the Lord was looking for a chance to fight the Philistines. At this time, the Philistines were ruling Israel. So Samson went to Timnah with his father and mother. As they were going through the vineyard, he heard a young lion roaring. Suddenly, the power of the Lord made Samson strong, and he tore the lion apart with his bare hands, as if it were a young goat. But he did not tell his parents what he had done. Then he went and talked to the girl, and he liked her. A few days later, Samson went back to marry her. On the way, he left the road to look at the lion he had killed, and he was surprised to find a swarm of bees and some honey inside the dead body. He scraped the honey out into his hand and ate it as he walked along. Then he went to his father and mother and gave them some. They ate it. But Samson did not tell them that he had taken the honey from the dead body of a lion. His father went to the guest house, and Samson gave a banquet there. This was a custom among the young men. When the Philistines saw him, they sent 30 young men to stay with him. Samson said to them, "Let me ask you a riddle. I will bet each one of you a piece of fine linen and a change of fine clothes that you can't tell me its meaning." Before the 7 days of the wedding feast are over, tell your widow, they said, let's hear it. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. 3 days later, they have still not solved the riddle. On the fourth day, they said to Samson's wife, trick your husband into telling us what the riddle means. If you don't, we will set fire to your father's house and burn you with it. You two invited us so that you could rob us, don't you? So Samson's wife went to him in tears and said, you don't love me. You just hate me. You asked my friends a riddle and did not tell me what it means. He said, look, I have not even told my father and mother. Why should I tell you? She cried about it for the whole 7 days of the feast. But on the seventh day he told her what the riddle meant, for she nagged him about it so much. And then she told the Philistines. So on the seventh day, before Samson went into the bedroom, the men of the city said to him, what could be sweeter than honey? What could be stronger than a lion? Samson replied, if you have not been lofting with my cow, you won't know the answer now. Suddenly the power of the Lord made him strong, and he went down to Ashkelon, where he killed 30 men, stripped them, and gave their fine linen to the men who have solved the riddle. After that he went back home, furious about what had happened, and his wife was given to the man that had been his best man at the wedding. Judges chapter 15. Some time later, Samson went to visit his wife during the wheat harvest and took her a young goat. He said to her father, I want to go to my wife's room, but he would not let him go in. He said to Samson, I really thought that you hated her, so I have given her to your friend, but her younger sister is prettier. Anyway, you can have her instead. Samson, this time I'm not going to be responsible for what I do to the Philistine. So he went and cast 300 foals, two by two. He tied their tails together and put torches in the knots. Then he set fire to the torch and turned the forces loose in Philistine corn fields. In this way he burned up not only the corn that had been harvested, but also the corn that was still in the field, and the olive orchards as well. When the Philistines asked who had done this, they learned that Samson has done it because his father-in-law, a man from Timnah, had given Samson's wife to a friend of Samson's. So the Philistine went and burnt the woman to death and burned down her father's house. Samson told them, so this is how you act. I swear that I won't stop until I pay you back. He attacked them fiercely and killed many of them. Then he went and stayed in cave in the cliff at Etam. Samson defeated the Philistine. The Philistine came and made camp in Judah and attacked the town of Lehi. The men of Judah asked them, why are you attacking us? Then they answered, we came to take Samson prisoner and to treat him as he treated us. So 3,000 men of Judah went to the cave in the cliff at Etam and said to Samson, don't you know that the Philistines are our rulers? What have you done to us? He answered, I did to them what they did to me. They said, they said, we have come here to come running towards him. Ah, they said, we have come here to, okay, it's okay, tie you up so that we can hand you over to them. Samson said, give me your word that you won't kill me yourselves. All right, they said. We are only going to tie you up and hand you over to them. We won't kill you." So they tied him up with 2 new ropes and brought him back from the cliff. When he got to Lehi, the Philistine came running towards him, shouting at him. Suddenly the power of the Lord made him strong, and he broke the ropes round his arm and hand as if they were bone thread. Then he found the jawbone of a donkey that had recently died. He bent down and picked it up and killed 1,000 men with it. So Samson sang, "With the jawbone of a donkey I killed 1,000 men. With jawbone of a donkey I piled them up in piles." After that he threw the jawbone away. The place where this happened was named Ramath Lehi. Then Samson became very thirsty, so he came to the Lord and said, "You gave me this great victory. Am I now going to die of thirst and be captured by this hasty Philistine?" Then God opened a hollow place in the ground there at Lehi, and water came out of it. Samson drank it and began to feel much better. So the spring was named Hakor. It is still there at Lehi. Samson led Israel for 20 years while the Philistines ruled the land. Samson Gaza. Judges chapter 16. One day Samson went to the Philistine city of Gaza, where he met a prostitute and went to bed with her. The people of Gaza found out that Samson was there, so they surrounded the place and waited for him all night long at the city gate. They were quiet all night, thinking to themselves, "We will wait until daybreak, and then we will kill him." But Samson stayed in bed only until midnight. Then he got up and took hold of the city gate and pulled it up, doors, posts, lock, and all. He put them on his shoulder and carried them all the way to the top of the hill overlooking Hebron. Samson and Delilah. Hmm. After this, Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah, who lived in the valley of Sorek. The 5 Philistine kings went to her and said, "Trick Samson into telling you why he is so strong and how we can overpower him. Tie him up and make him helpless. Each one of us will give you 1,100 pieces of silver." So Delilah said to Samson, "Please tell me what makes you so strong. If someone wanted to tie you up and make you helpless, how could he do it?" Samson answered, "If they tie me up with 7 new bones that are not dried out, I'll be as weak as anyone else." So the Philistine kings brought Delilah 7 new bowsprings that were not dried out, and she tied Samson up. She had some men waiting in another room, so she shouted, "Samson, Philistines are coming!" But he snapped the bowstrings just as thread break when fire touches it. So they still did not know the secret of his strength. Delilah said to Samson, "Look, you have been making a fool of me and not telling me the truth. Please tell me how someone could tie you up." He answered, "If they tie me with new ropes that have never been used, I will I will be as weak as anybody else." So Delilah got some new ropes and tied him up. Then she shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are coming!" The men were waiting in another room, but he snapped the rope off his arm like thread. Delilah said to Samson, "You are still making a fool of me and not telling me the truth. Tell me how someone could tie you up." He answered, "If you weave my 7 locks of hair into a loom and make it tight with a peg, I will be as weak as anyone else." Delilah then lured him to sleep, took his 7 locks of hair and wove them into the loom. She made him tie it with a peg and shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are coming." But he woke up and pulled his hair loose from the loom. So she said to him, "How can you say you love me when you don't? You have made me a fool of me. Okay, you have made a fool of me 3 times, and you still have not told me what makes you so strong." She kept on asking him day after day. He got so sick and tired of her nagging him about it that he finally told her, "My hair has never been cut," he said. "I have been dedicated to God as a Nazarite from the day I was born. If my hair were cut, I would lose my strength and be as weak as anyone else." Aye, Samson. When Delilah realized that he has told her the truth, she sent a message to the Philistine king and said, Come back just once more. You have told me the truth." Then they came and brought the money with them. Delilah learned something to sleep in her lap and then called a man who cut off the Samson 7 locks of hair. Then she began to torment him, for he had lost his strength. Then she shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are coming." He woke up and thought, "I will get loose and go free as always." He did not know that the Lord had left him. The Philistine captured him and put his eyes out. Aye, aye, Jesus. Aye, Jesus about us boy. The Philistine captured him and put his eyes out. They took him to Gaza, chained him with bronze chains, and put him to work grinding at the mine in the prison. But his hair started growing again. The death of Samson. The death of Samson. The Philistine kings met together to celebrate and offer a great sacrifice to their god Dagon. They sang, "Our God has given us victory over our enemy Samson." Oh, come on, is it a god? Do you people? Anyways, they were enjoying themselves, so they said, "Call Samson and let's make him entertain us." When they brought Samson out of the prison, they made him entertain them and make him stand between the pillars. When the people saw him, they sang praise to their God. "Our God has given us victory over our enemies, who devastated our land and killed so many of us." Samson said to the boy who was leading him by the hand, let me touch the pillars that hold up the building. I want to lean on them." Their building was crowded with men and women. All 5 Philistine kings were there, and there were about 3,000 men and women on the roof, watching Samson entertain them. Then Samson prayed, "Sovereign Lord, please remember me. Please, God, give me my strength just once more, so that with this one, blow, I can get even with the Philistine for putting out my 2 eyes." So Samson took hold of the 2 window pillars holding up the building, putting one hand on each pillar. He pushed against them and shouted, "Let me die with the Philistine." I'm from Nigeria. Thank you for watching. He pushed with he pushed with okay. He pushed against them and shouted, "Let me die with the Philistine." He pushed with all his might, and the building fell down on the 5 kings and everyone else. Samson killed more people dead depth than he had killed during his life. His brothers and the rest of his family came down to get his body. They took him back and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol. in the tomb of his father, Manu. He had been Israel's leader for 20 years. Micah's idol. Judges chapter 17. There was once a man named Micah who lived in the hill country of Ephraim. He said to his mother, "When someone stole those 1,100 pieces of silver from you, you put a curse on the thief. I heard you do it. Look, I have the money. I'm the one who took it." His mother said, "May the Lord bless you, my son." He gave the money back to his mother. And she said, To stop the curse from falling on my son, I myself am solemnly dedicating the silver to the Lord. It will be used to make a wooden idol covered with silver. So now I will give the piece of silver back to you." Then he gave them back to his mother. She took 200 of the pieces of silver and gave them to a metal worker who made an idol, carving it from the wood and covering it with the silver. It was placed in Micah's house. It was placed in Micah's house. This man Micah had his own place of worship. He made some idol and an ephod and okay, an ephod, and appointed one of his sons as his prince. There was no king in Israel at that time. Everyone did just as him pleased. At that same time, there was a young Levite who has been living in the town of Bethlehem in Judea. Judges chapter 18. Micah and the tribe of Dan. There was no king in Israel at that time. In those days, the tribe of Dan was looking for territory to claim and occupy because they have not yet received any land of their own, the tribe of Israel. So the people of Dan chose 5 qualified men out of all the family in the tribe and sent them from the towns in the tribe. Okay. And sent them to Zorah and Eshtaol with instruction to exploit the land. When they arrived in the hill country of Ephraim, they stayed at Micah's house. While they were there, they recognized the accent of the young Levite. So they went up to him and asked, "What are you doing here? Who brought you here?" He answered, "I have an arrangement with Micah, who pays me to serve as prince." They said to him, "Please ask God if we are going to be successful on our journey." The priest answered, "You have nothing to worry about. The Lord is taking care of you on this journey." So the 5 men left and went to the town of Lash. They saw how safety the people there were living. Midian. They were peaceful, quiet people with no disputes with anyone. They had all they needed. They live far away from the Sidonians and have no dealings with any other people. When the 5 men returned to Zorah and Eshtaol, their countrymen asked them what they had found out. "Come on," they replied, "let's attack Lash. We saw the land, and it is very good. Don't stay here doing nothing. Hurry, go on in and take over. When you get there, you will find that the people don't suspect a thing. It is a big country. It has everything a person could want, and God has given it to you." So 600 men from the tribe of Dan left and Eshtaol ready for battle. They went up and made camp west of Kiryat Jearim in Judah. That is why the place is still called the camp of Dan. They went on from there and came to Micah's house in the hill country of Ephraim. Then the 5 men who have gone to explore the country round Lash said to their companions, "Did you know that here is one of these houses there is a wooden idol covered with silver? There are also other idols on an effort. What do you think we should do? So they went into Michael's house where the young Levite lived and asked the Levite how he was getting on. Meanwhile, the 600 soldiers for Dan ready for battle were standing at the gate. The the five spies went straight on into the house and took the wounded idol covered with silver and the other idols and ephod, while the prince stayed at the gate with the 600 armed men. When the men went into Michael's house and took the sacred objects, the prince asked them, "What are you doing?" They said, "Keep quiet. Do not say a word. Come with us and be our prince and adviser. Won't you rather be a prince for a whole Israelite tribe than for the family of one man?" This made the prince very happy, so he took the sacred object and went along with them. They turned round and started off with their children, their livestock, and their belongings going ahead. They traveled a good distance from the house when Michael called his neighbors out for battle. They caught up with the men from Dan and shouted at them. The men from Dan turned round and asked Michael, "What is the matter? Why all this mob?" Michael, Michael answered, "What do you mean? What is the matter? You took my praise and the gods that I made, and what of what have I got left?" The men from Dan said, "You had better not say anything else, unless you want these men to get angry and attack you. Then you and your whole family will die." Then they went on. Michael saw that they were too strong for him, so he turned and went back home. After the men from Dan have taken the praise and the things that Michael have made, they went and attacked Lachish, that town of peaceful, quiet people which was in the same valley at Beth-rehob. They killed the inhabitants and burnt the town. There was no one to save them, because Lachish was a long way from Sidon, and they have no dealings with any other people. The men from Dan rebuilt the town and settled down there. They changed its name from Lachish to Dan, after their ancestor Dan, the son of Jacob. The men from Dan set up the idols to worship, and Jonathan, the son of Gershon and grandson of Moses, served as a prince for the tribe of Dan, and his descendants served as their prince until the people were taken away into exile. Michael's idol remained there all the time that the tent were okay. Michael's idol remained there all the time that the tent where God was worshipped remained at Shiloh. Judges chapter 19. The Levite and his Korban. In those days, before Israel has a king, there was a Levite living far back in the hill country of Ephraim. He took a girl from Bethlehem in Judah to be his concubine, but she became angry with him, went back to her father's house in Bethlehem, and stayed there for 4 months. Then the man decided to go after her and try to persuade her to return to him. He took his servants and 2 donkeys with him. The girl showed the Levite into the house. When her father saw him, he gave him a warm welcome. The father insisted that he stay, and so he stayed for 3 days. The couple had their meals, spent the night there. On the morning of the 4th day, they woke up early and got ready to go. But the girl's father said to the Levite, "Have something to eat first. It will do you good. You can go later." So the 2 men sat down and ate and drank together. Then the girl's father said to him, "Please spend the night here and enjoy yourself." The Levite got up to go, but the father urged him to stay. So he spent another night there. Early in the morning of the 5th day, he started to leave bed. The girl's father said, Eat something please, wait until later in the day. So the two men ate together. When the man, his cucumber, and the servant once more started to leave, the father said, "Look, it's almost evening now. You might as well stay all night. It will be dark soon. Stay here and have a good time. Tomorrow you can get up early for your journey and go home." But the man did not want to spend another night there, so he and his cucumber started on their way. Cucumber, okay. With their servants and two donkeys with pack saddles, it was late in the day when they came near Jabus, that is Jerusalem. So the servant said to his master, "Why does you why don't we stop and spend the night here in this Jebusite city?" But his master answered, "We are not going to stop in a city where the people are not Israelites. We will pass on and go a little farther and spend the night at Gibeah or Ramah." So they went past Jebus and continued on their way. It was sunset when they came to Gibeah in the territory of the tribe of Benjamin. They turned off the road to go and spend the night there. They went into the city and sat down in square, but no one offered to take them home for the night. While they were there, an old man came by at the end of a day's work in the field. He was originally from the hill country of Ephraim, but he was now living in Gibeah. The other people there were from the tribe of Benjamin. The old man noticed the traveler in the city square and asked him, "Where do you come from? Where are you going?" The Levite answered, "We have been to Bethlehem in Judea. Now we are on our way home, deep in the hill country of Ephraim. No one will put us up for the night, even though we have fodder and straw for our donkeys, as well as bread and wine for my cucumber and me and for my servant. We have everything we need." The old man said, "You are welcome in my home. I will take care of you. You don't have to spend the night in the square." So he took them home with him and fed their donkeys. His guests washed their feet and had a meal. They were enjoying themselves when all of a sudden some sexual perverts from the town surrounded the house and started beating on the door. They said to the old man, "Bring out that man that came home with you. We want to have sex with him." But the old man went outside and said to them, "No, my friends, please don't do okay. Please do not do such an evil. Immoral Please do not do such an evil immorality. This man is my guest. Look, here is his concubine and my own daughter, who is a virgin. I will bring them out now, and you can have them. Do with them whatever you want, but don't do such an awful thing to this man." But the men would not listen to him. So the Levite took his concubine and put her aside with them. They raped her and abused her all night long and did not stop until morning. At dawn, the woman fell down at the door of the old man's house, where her husband was. Now. She was still there when daylight came. Her husband got up that morning, and when he opened the door to go on his way, he found his concubine lying from in front of the house with her hands reaching for the door. He said, "Get up, let's go," but there was no answer. So he put her body across the donkey and started on his way home. When he arrived, he went into the house and got a knife. He took his concubine body, cut it into 12 pieces, and sent one piece to each of the 12 tribes of Israel. Everyone who saw it said, "We have never heard of such a thing. Nothing has never heard of such, okay, nothing like this had ever happened since the Israelites left Egypt. We have to do something about this. What will it be? Abai to Bashina, son of Hanan. Judges chapter 20. Israel prepared for war. All the people of Israel from Dan in the north to Beersheba in the south, as far as from the land of Gilead in the east, answered the call. They gathered in one body in the Lord's presence. At Mizpah, the leader of all the tribe of Israel were present at this gathering of God's people. And there were 400,000 foot soldiers. Meanwhile, the people of Benjamin heard that all the other Israelites had gathered at Mizpah. The Israelites asked, "Tell us, how was this crime committed?" The Levite whose concubine has been murdered answered, "My concubine and I went to Gibeon in the territory of Benjamin to spend the night. The men of Gibeon came to attack me and surrendered the house at night. They intended to kill me. Instead, they raped my concubine, and she died. I took her body, cut it in pieces, and sent one piece to each of the 12 tribes of Israel. These people have committed an evil and immoral act among us. All of us, all of you here are Israelites. What are we going to do about it?" All the people stood up together and said, "None of us, whether he lives in a tent or in a house, will go home. This is what we will do. We will draw lots and choose some men to attack Gibeah. One-tenth of the men in Israel will provide food for the army, and the other will go and punish Gibeah for this immoral act that they have committed in Israel." So all the men in Israel assembled with one purpose, to attack the town. The Israelite tribe sent messengers all through the territory of the tribe of Benjamin to say, "What is this crime that you have committed? Now, hand over those perverts in Gibeah, so that we can kill them and remove this evil from Israel." But the people of Benjamin paid no attention to the other Israelites. From all the cities of Benjamin, they came to Gibeah to fight against the other people of Israel. They called out 26,000 soldiers from their cities that day. Besides this, the cities of Gibeah gathered 700 specialists who were left-handed. Every one of them could sling a stone at a strand of hair and never miss. The rest of the Israelites tribe gathered 400,000 trained. The war against the Benjaminites. The Israelites went to the place of worship at Bethel, and there they asked God, which tribe should attack the Benjaminites first. The Lord answered, "The tribe of Judah." So the Israelites started out the next morning and made camp near the city of Gibeah. They went to attack the army of Benjamin and placed the soldiers in position facing the city. The army of Benjamin came out of the city, and before the day was over, they have killed 22,000 Israelite soldiers. Then the Israelites went to the place of worship and mourned in the presence of the Lord until evening. And then he asked him, "Should we go again into the battle against our brothers, the Benjaminites?" The Lord answered, "Yes." So the Israelites' army was encouraged, and they placed their soldiers in the same position as they have been the day before. They marched against the army of Benjamin a second time, and for the second time the Benjaminites came out of Gibeah, killed 18,000 trained Israelite soldiers. Then all the people of Israel went up to Bethel and mourned. They sat there in the Lord's presence and did not eat until evening. They offered fellowship sacrifice and burnt some sacrifice raw, all in the presence of the Lord. God's covenant board was there at Bethel in those days, and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar and grandson of Aaron, was in charge of it. The people asked the Lord, "Will we go out to fight our brothers and the Benjaminites again, or should we give up?" The Lord answered, "Fight! Tomorrow I will give you victory over them." So the Israelites put some soldiers in hiding round Gibeah. Then for the third successive day they marched against the army of Benjamin and placed their soldiers in battle position, facing Gibeah, as they had done before. The Benjaminites came out to fight and were led away from the city as before. They began killing some Israelites in the open country on the road of Bethel and on the road to Gibeah. They killed about 30 Israelites. The Benjaminites said, "We have beaten them just as we did before." But the Israelites had planned to retreat and lead them away from the city onto the road. So when the main army of the Israelites pulled back and regrouped at Batamia, the men surrounding Gibeah suddenly rushed out of their hiding place in the rocky country round the city. 10,000 men, specially chosen out of all Israel, attacked Gibeah and the fighting was hard. The Benjaminites had not realized that they were about to be destroyed. The Lord gave Israel victory over the army of Benjamin. The Israelites killed 25,100 of the enemy that day. And the Benjaminites realized they were defeated. How the Israelites won. The main body of the Israelites' army had retreated from the Benjaminites because they were relying on the men that they had put in hiding round Gibeah. These men ran quickly towards Gibeah. They spread out in the city and killed everyone there. The main Israelite army and the men in hiding had arranged a shape now. When they saw a big cloud of smoke going up from the town, the Israelites out on the battlefield were to turn round. By this time the Benjaminites had already killed the 30 Israelites. They told themselves, "Yes, we have beaten them just as we did before." Then the signal appeared. A cloud of smoke began to go up from the town. The Benjaminites looked behind them and were amazed to see the whole city going up in flame. Then the Israelites turned round, and the Benjaminites were thrown into a panic because they realized that they were about to be destroyed. They retreated from the Israelites and ran towards the open country. But they could not escape. They were catched between the main army and the men who were now coming out of the city, and they were destroyed. The Israelites had the enemy trapped, and without stopping, they pursued them as far as a point east of Gibeah, killing them as they went. 18,000 of the best Benjaminite soldiers were killed. The others turned around towards the open country, to the rock of Rimmon. 5,000 of them were killed along the road. The Israelites continued to pursue the rest to Gideon, killing 2,000. In all, 25,000 Benjaminites were killed that day, all of them brave soldiers. But 600 men were able to escape to the open country to the rock of Rimmon, and they stayed there 4 months. The Israelites turned back against the rest of the Benjaminites and killed them all, men, women, children, and animals as well. They burnt every town in the area. This is the end of this video. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I have everything I need. He lets me rest in field of green grass and lead me to quiet pools of fresh waters. He gave me new strength and guides me in bright paths as He has promised. Even if I go through the deepest darkness, I will not be afraid, Lord, for you are with me. Your shepherd rod and staff protected me. You prepare a banquet for me where all my enemies can see me. You welcome me as an honored guest and fill my cup to the brim. I know that your goodness and love will be with me all my life, and your house will be my home as long as I live. The world and all that is in it belongs to the Lord. He built it on the deep water. Okay, the earth and all who live on it are His. He built it on the deep waters beneath the earth and laid its foundation in the ocean depths. Who has the right to go up the Lord's hill or may enter His holy temple? Those who are pure in heart and in thought, who do not worship idols or make false promises. The Lord will bless them and save them. God will declare them innocent. Such are the people who come to God, who come into the presence of the Lord, the God of Jacob. Fling wide the gates, open the ancient doors, and the great King will come in. Who is this great King? He is the Lord strong, mighty, the Lord victorious in battle. Fling wide the gates, open the ancient doors, and the great King will come in. Who is this great King? The triumphant Lord is the great King. So, guys, this is the end of this reading, and I will be going live by 10 p.m. today. So until we meet again, stay blessed.